Located less than an hour south of Perth, Western Australia, Fairbridge Village is a stunning place, but hides such a haunted past that will leave chills running down your spine. My name is Paranormal Talks, and welcome back to Hauntings in Our Own Backyard. I've been away for quite some time, moving from Queensland over to Western Australia, and I've been deep diving into a lot of Western Australia history to try and find some very scary but fun haunted locations. I'm looking forward to diving deeper and explaining and sharing some of these locations with you. If you have any that you'd recommend me looking into, drop them in the comments below and I shall investigate. To understand why this area is so haunted, we need to take it back to the very beginning. On the 15th of April 1912, Kingsley Fairbridge and his wife Ruby arrived in Albany, Western Australia. From there, they made their way through to Pinjarra. They arrived in Pinjarra on the 16th of July that same year to establish the world's first Fairbridge Farm School. The school opened on the 19th of October 1912, and Kingsley had a vision and wanted to see little children shedding the bondage of unfortunate circumstances and stretching their legs and minds to explore farming. Now, this was far from the truth. Now, Kingsley did have this vision at the beginning and wanted the best, but this story takes a dark turn. From 1913 through to 1982, Fairbridge Farm School was home to a total of 3,580 children who came to Fairbridge under various child migration schemes. The school provided education and in-task learning and taught the basics of metalwork and woodwork. During World War II, Dutch refugee children evacuated from Indonesia were based at Fairbridge while they were waiting to be reunited with their families. The site was also used as a training ground for the Women's Land Army, and Guildford Grammar School partially relocated there while their school was being used as a hospital base. An airfield was also constructed and operated from the school during the Second World War through to the 1950s. Now, this is where it takes a dark turn. Many of the children that were migrants were falsely told that they were orphans and consequently never saw their families again. In 1986, the first Australian child migrant approached the British government to seek reparation. The approach eventually led to the establishment of the Child Migrant Trust in 1987. The Australian government apologised for its involvement in the scheme, and in 1998, the Western Australian government apologised to the former child migrants. A review was held, an inquiry was launched, and many of these children suffered physical, emotional, and sexual abuse in the state's institutions, and some never saw their families again. On the 24th of February 2010, the British Prime Minister Gordon Brown made a formal apology to the families of the children who suffered. In 2020, in July, it was reported that the Australian government had named Fairbridge as one of 6 institutions that had failed to sign up for the National Redress Scheme, due to the company being dormant and under administration. Now, the scheme was designed to investigate and was handed down by a royal commission to look into child sex abuse. To this day in 2024, Fairbridge Village consists of 55 heritage listed buildings and 10 newer buildings. The village is quite a beautiful place to visit, with a chapel, dining hall, single and double story cottages, training and sporting facilities, and accommodation that can hold up to 370 people. It's quite a beautiful place to visit, but we can't deny its scary past. With this dark history, Fairbridge has confirmed the deaths of quite a lot of young children over the years. There's quite a in-depth story from the Mandurah Mail, and I'll link it down below in the description so you guys can click in and have a read through some of these tragic stories. But Clive Cottage is one of the most haunted locations in Fairbridge Village. It got to a point where work trips and wedding days were cancelled due to people seeing spirits, people seeing things move, people hearing screams, people hearing all sorts of scary stories. It got so bad that they needed to call in expert help, mediums, paranormal investigators, and people that would come in and try and talk to the people that had passed away and see what they can do to help. If this video gets 5 likes, I will do an in-person investigation at Fairbridge Village and even go to Clive Cottage to see what I can find myself. Fairbridge has over 100 years worth of history, sad history at that, and was a perfect place for me to start my investigations into Western Australia haunting locations, and I'm very excited to keep digging into some other locations. Let me know down below, are there any in particular that you have researched or been to that have scared the jeebies out of you? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know down below if there's anything else you want to see, and I'll catch you in the next video.